A nawr mae'n dod trwy dda wara dros tîm Cymru, mae fel rhyw fath o stori roedd y Rovers yn dywe, wara teg gyda fe.
Diolch yn fawr Derwyn, dyna ni felly tîm dreigiau fydd yn dod i'r maes ar Barc Musgrave i herio Munster yn y PRO12. Dowch i ni rwan fynd draw at ein tîm sylwebu ni yn Iwerddon. Noswaith dda, Emyr Lewis a Gwyn Jones.
Diolch Gareth. Croeso i Barc Musgrave a hwyr prynhawn, llwyd, llaeth a gwyntog sydd gyda ni draw fan hyn. A mae yna dipyn o gyffro wedi bod yn Corc trwy'r prynhawn. Oherwydd am 5 o'r gloch prynhawn yma draw yn Nilyn. Oedd Corc yn herio County Clare yn ffainal ar hurling, yr GAA. Ac oedd y dre ar bigau draen y tafarnau yn fwy llawn nag un nhw fel arfer. Ond yn anffodus mae Corc wedi colli yn yr eiliadau diwetha. A nawr yn araf mae'r cefnogwyr yn gadael y tafarndi ac yn dod draw i Barc Musgrave. Emyr, dechreuad gwych i'r dreigiau tymor yma. Y cwestiwn yw, sut mae cynnal y llwyddiant yna?
Mae rhan o waren gwmwys yn peth o beth maen nhw wedi wneud. Maen nhw wedi bod yn hynod o gorfforol. Maen nhw'n chwarae gyda cryn dipyn o dempo hefyd, rhywbeth welon ni ddim y tymor diwetha. Fi'n credu bod Lynn Jones a Kingsley Jones yn gwneud gwahaniaeth enfawr i'r ffordd mae'r pacin yn gystadleuol. Maen nhw'n cystadlu am bopeth yn enwedig yn ardal y dagl. Ond beth mae'n rhaid o fod yn ofalus yw bod nhw ddim yn colli'r momentwn. Fi'n gwybod bod nhw wedi rhoi gadael cwpl o chwaraewyr allan. Ond nhw'n oherwydd yr adnoddau a'r ffaith bod dim so gymaint o ddyfnder yn nhw'n ei carfan, mae'n i fod yn anodd iawn i nhw gadw'r momentwm i ni fynd. Cadw'r hyder i fynd yna'r teimlad sydd gyda nhw nawr. Wrth i Andrew Coombs arwain i dîm i'r ca. Dan Evans, Jack Dixon, Tom Pridey o tri sydd wedi dechrau pob gêm o dan Lynn Jones hyd yn hyn. Ond heno mae cyfle cyntaf i Chris Burton a Jonathan Evans i brofi pwynt i'r hyfforddwr. A'r blaenwyr gyda Falatau yn cael hoi. Tylai a Coombs fydd yn cario mwyaf. A bydd Lewis Evans yn trio efelychu ar ymdrech am ddiffynol yn erbyn y Scarlets o 12 dacl llwyddiannus. Y dreigiau. Ydy, mae'r hyder yna, mae yna naws gwbl wahanol amdanyn nhw ac yn siarad gyda'r tîm hyfforddi cyn y gêm. Maen nhw'n edrych fel bod nhw'n teimlo'n gyfforddus iawn gyda'r hyn sydd wedi digwydd hyd yn hyn. Dyna Chris Burton wrth gwrs yn enedigol o Awstralia ac chwarae rygbi rhyngwladol dros yr Eidal. Diddorol gweld siwt mae'r dreigiau yn mynd i ymdopi gyda grym a pŵer Munster. Falle hon yw'r gêm caleta, maen nhw wedi cael hyd yma yn y tymor. A'n amlwg pwynt i Munster i brofi ar ôl i nhw golli penwythnos diwetha. Wel, am 15 tymor a mwy, mae Ronan O'Gara wedi rheoli rygbi Munster. Ond mae'r oes yna ar ben bellach a cyfnod newydd yn dechrau. Munster yn trio newid i dull dros y tymhorau diwetha o dan Rob Penny ac yn datblygu gêm gymaint fwy agored. Ond gwrth ymosod o bobman mae'r olwyr wedi wneud y tymor yma. Dim syndod gyda'r cyflymdra sydd gan Earls, Zibo a Conway. Lawlala a Keatley yn cael gorffwys heno. Cyfle i'r maswr ifanc, JJ Hanrahan. Ac yn y pac, wel, roedd dda amser pan o'ch chi'n gallu enwi pac Munster heb feddwl. Dim rhagor. Dim ond un o'r hoelion wyth yna sydd bellach gyda ni yn chwarae heno. Donsio Calanewe, Peter O'Mani sydd arwain yr blaenwyr rhagor. Mae yna ddau glo profiadol ar y fainc heno. Sedoli i'r dreigiau a'r cafridog Paul O'Connell nôl am y tro cyntaf ers i anaf i'w fraich yn Awstralia gyda llewod Warren Gatland. Neil Patterson.
Welcome to this live interactive service on the red button with uninterrupted English commentary by myself, Kenneth Davis, and also Tom Shankling in the commentary position tonight as Munster entertain the Dragons in round 4 of the PRO12 competition. And the Dragons, buoyed no doubt by their success last week with a win over the Scarlets, but Munster start as I'm sure they mean to go on. Out to Hanrahan. They try and spread early on, and half a gap appears for Keith Earls, the former Lion. And that is the way now under the new regime of Rob Penny. We saw this last year. The Munster of old reliant on the big forwards carrying over the gain line and the set piece. But that's changed somewhat in the last season. bit scrappy, and a chance for everyone to regroup, and it'll be a scrum and a chance to hear first of all Tom Shanklin. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening. Quite a sloppy start there by the Dragons, straight off the kick-off. 2 or 3 missed tackles, and I think they were quite glad in the end that Munster kicked, because Munster had a couple of cracks at them, a couple of sort of half tackles, but Dragons then sort of sorted themselves out, forced Munster to kick, and I think the Dragons deserve a little bit more from that. It was a good charge down, but unfortunately they knocked it on, and just gives Munster an opportunity now just to probably play a little bit of territory, get the ball out of their half.
This aspect will test the Dragons, no doubt, up front. The first scrummage under the new laws, of course, and it's first blood to Munster.
Yeah, well, Munster tap and go there straight away. They want to play an up-tempo game. Oh, good hit that is. Real well spot tackle.
Dragons defence up very quickly. Here's O'Mahony, the captain, and the Irish international. Cothell sweeps it out to Hanrahan, who spots a gap behind the Dragons' defence, and it's measured to perfection.
Yeah, that is a lovely kick there. Inch perfect, just splits the 15 and the winger. Have a look at this. Off the right foot, always difficult.
Red line, please.
Kicking from right to left with that foot. It suits more of a left footer, but pin the Dragons right back now.
Played for the Ireland under-20 side, JJ Hanrahan. A lot of inexperienced players playing for Munster as they nick it at the line. A chance to plough forward.
There's no rush here for Munster. They just want to sort themselves out, get their forwards in position, try and turn what is slow ball now into quick ball.
Paddy Butler drives on. It's Cothell. Options here. Out it goes to Hanrahan. Looking for the inside ball, but it's out to Conway on the far side. Andrew Conway. Good pressure here from Munster, and it's a cross kick in the end. Dragons will have to be alert, and they are. And in the end, a bit of a waste of a chance from Munster.
What was he doing? They're probably saying, "What are you doing? Just put it down."
I think that's exactly what Christopher Burton is saying.
Possibly he's had a Red Bull or a coffee before kick-off. But it's just good hands there by Munster. They keep it in field. Good play there by the Munster winger. And then the crossfield kick, I mean...
Well, we saw a great try years ago by Philippe Saint-André right behind the French try line, but not so that time from... Matthew Putner.
It's a bit too early to start trying to run from your dead ball line, although I have seen Wendell Saylor score against Wales in a similar position.
Well, the drama's over for now. Cothell out to Hanrahan. Yet again, it's this high tempo game plan from Munster.
That's good defence there by Tom Pride. He shoots up, then just tracks back, nails his man.
Again, the blue-shirted Dragons up very quickly in midfield. And not much room on this near side for O'Mahony, but they've kept it in play well.
Ooh, was he in touch? Was he in touch?
And in the end, they're over anyway. But that is the style, Tom, from Munster nowadays. We're not accustomed to seeing this from years gone by.
No, they're switching back a fair bit. They're trying to use the width of the field there. But what the Dragons do well, they don't commit too many in the ruck. They just number up, use their eyes, they get out of the tackle, see what's in front, and force them into touch.
Both teams have lost one since the start of the season. Munster going down last week against Treviso. The Dragons.
Those Italian teams are tough. Just look at the Blues.
Well, the Ospreys had a test out there at the start of the season. They came through and have won in Connacht as well this evening. So things going well for Steve Tandy's team. Very cagey early on here at Musgrave Park. Plenty of towing and throwing.
Yeah, you could tell straight away that was going to be a penalty. Just gets isolated there. Have a look. Takes it in.
Okay.
Screeches a little bit too late, And the Munster players are so quick over the top. You watch now, you see that, 2 of them over the top. When you get in a position like that, especially a front row, immovable. You just can't move them, no matter what you try and do. Yeah, a lot back when we were playing for Wales, we used to take judo lessons to try and help us, ruck area, because it's all about manipulating the body. But I tried it once, and it didn't work.
Well, the jackal, as they call it, so important in the modern game. And there is an art to it, as we've seen Sam Warburton and others have perfected over the years.
Yeah, so you've got to get a wide base to start with, and then it helps if you're a little bit shorter. You wouldn't see Ian Evans, to get down too much, although he's not bad at it.
Chance for Hanrahan then to put Munster in front. It's a good strike, a clean strike, and it sails over. So Munster 3 points to the goods. Although no clear-cut opportunities as of yet.
No, there wasn't. That Munster probably deserved those 3 points. They've played a bit of rugby. They've been trying to break the Dragons' defence. It's just the Dragons getting isolated. Support not getting to him quick enough.
Mentioned that Munster lost against Treviso. Greatly weighted kick there from the start by Christopher Burton, but over the touchline on the far side.
Yeah, it wasn't tackled in the air. I wasn't quite sure there.
There we are, there's the middle.
I'd see it on a replay, but it was a great kick, and
Touch it, was right
again,
beside it, didn't have anything to
probably the
add.
Dragons deserve a little bit more reward for that.
Step in, please, Red.
Neil Patterson is our referee tonight from Scotland. You see the flags in the blustery conditions on the far side. Typical cork conditions at Musgrave Park. Not much room there for Simon Zebo, and well marshalled into touch.
Yeah, again, Munster just having a sneaky look down the blind side. But Dragons reacted very well there.
In we come,
Jonathan
please,
Evans
Blue.
coming round. Blindside help out his winger.
Another one of the Lions, of course, Simon Zebo. Played 3 as a late replacement out in Australia.
Good angle, that is.
Dragons up the middle, and good driving as well from the support was good, and it's there for Evans. Forwards in midfield, Talay is one of them. The new recruit from Edinburgh. On by Gustafsson.
Off your feet, too, Red.
They need a bit of time down in the Munster half now, the Dragons. Burton spreads it wide. There are men over.
Release, Red.
Good period here for the Dragons if they can keep possession, and they have been rewarded as well, not releasing at the tackle area,
please.
according to Neil Patterson. And it's the captain Omani who's been penalised.
Yeah, it's pretty sensible play there. The Dragons went left, they came back, and Jack Dixon had a look outside, wasn't really on, so he tucked it, gets the legs pumping, just about gets over the gain line, and forces a penalty off Munster. And it's a chance now for Chris Burton just to draw it level. And these games are really important. You've got to try and stay within sort of 3-7 points of teams like Munster, because as soon as you start going over that sort of points level, then the game starts slipping away, and you look at the scoreboard, and then all of a sudden you're 12-15 points, and it's a difficult place and a difficult team to claw back. Christopher
Burton then, former Treviso outside half, Italian international, slots it over, and I'm sure the travelling Dragons fans will be happy with the efforts early on after the first 10 minutes. And I suppose patience is the key word as well. As the Blues found out last night against Leinster, as soon as you're on the back foot, as soon as you're playing catch-up rugby, so difficult then against these Irish provinces.
Yeah, it is really difficult, and that's why I say it's so important to stay within the score sort of reach of teams like Munster, especially at Musgrave Park, which is, it's a hard place to go. The Munster supporters get right on you, they're close to you, it's intimidating. It's a great place to go, but they need to take points when it's on offer, and you know, that guy there, Chris Burton, he's going to have a busy day today because, you know, Munster are going to target him. You know, the Dragons have got 2 big centres, you know, 2 good tacklers, and you know, defensively, Chris Burton is a weak link. You know, you've got to always look for a 10 with a head guard. There's a reason why he's wearing one.
A conservative player, it's fair to say. Chris Burton, and there is a change in.
Not held.
Good hit there, great hit, straight at the ankles, Dan Lydiate style.
Up it goes from Hanrahan. The high Hail Mary swirling in the wind, and it could be a problem here for the Dragons. They've managed to secure it somehow, but they're still under pressure.
That was a poor kick that just turned out brilliantly.
And in the end, it's worked perfectly for Munster. They'll have the put in here and options on both sides of the scrum.
There's no way Hanrahan meant that kick to land where it was. You know, good play here. Bit of a decoy runner.
There's the tackle.
Dixon just following his man, not getting sucked in by decoy runner.
Just hung in the air, didn't it, for a while?
And it was inch perfect, that kick, because it split again. The blindside winger and the 15, and you know, you don't want that ball to bounce. You want to try and catch that on the full, mark it, clear your lines. Plenty of options here. This is a horrible place to defend. When you're back, you're exposed. You know, if you get a good platform and a good scrum, you know, it's a one-on-one.
Great opportunity then for the home side. As Cothell feeds from the base, but it's gone forward, spilled forward, and a chance goes begging, and a chance for the Dragons to clear their lines.
Yeah, Jonathan Evans did so well there. Just got a foot in.
Always under pressure.
Munster's
First defence back over here.
Just try to pick it up.
Well, it was half charged down, but Neil Patterson was playing an advantage.
Here we go. Look, it's a good scrum. You can see what's happening there. You know, Sheridan's going right, trying to suck in the defenders. They wanted Paddy Butler to throw the ball left, but Jonathan Evans was quick there. Read what was going on and just stuck his boot in, disrupted it.
Rhys Thomas not available for the Dragons, so we see Hugh Gustafson packing down.
Seconds and eight.
At hooker. They do see him as a hooker, started his career on the loose head.
Crouch.
Hugh Gustafson.
Bang.
And he's packing alongside Phil Price and Francisco Chaparro, the Argentinian international. Big effort needed here as they turn. Didn't turn the full 90. Good offload by Jonathan Evans.
Oh, this is nice. This is lovely.
Here they go, the Dragons.
Great pace.
Talley tries to find Tom Pridey on the outside. Great burst by the Fijian international. Oh, they deserved better there.
They did. I mean, there was a lot of space behind there. Just a shame. Talley threw like a pretty high up and under the bars, really, and just took a little bit of momentum out of the Dragons attack. Great spin there, great offload. And look at this. That's what you want to see. A number 8 in full flow. Yeah, you just see that pass, you know, just gave Munster that extra sort of second just to readjust.
Well, I think he caught all of his team by surprise. Unfortunately, there was very little support with him. Earls out to the far side is Zebo. It hasn't gone forward, I don't think. Yes, it has. The referee momentarily thought. I think that came off. That didn't go forward.
Yeah, no. I did hear the words happy there, but you know, lucky for the Dragons they pulled up. But you can see what happens here. Zebo, such a danger. Steps inside, just tries to offload.
Off the feet of Johnny Murphy, I think the referee thought initially.
Such a live wire player, isn't he, Simon Zebo? You know, you cannot afford to give him any room. As a defending winger, you've got to be up in his face straight away.
And many surprised that he wasn't in the initial squad to tour Australia. He got his chance in the end. Of course, scored in that first Six Nations match this year against Wales at the Millennium Stadium.
Yeah, unbelievable tech as that was, wasn't it? Just flicking the ball up.
Set.
I'd like to see him try and do that again, though.
Well, it was a piece of skill that put play to Wales that day, and this time the Dragon scrum has been penalised.
Oh, they love
I think
that,
it was
don't
Lewis Evans.
The front row love that when the penalty's gone, just keep driving.
Hands in by 7.
Here's the power coming through from the Munster 8.
Yeah,
Dragons always under pressure.
7.
See Lewis Evans there blatantly using his left hand, just feeding the ball backwards.
Garrett's just
It's to
inside.
the corner they go. And they want to keep the pressure on the Dragons and keep them pinned down in their
Garrett, just have
22.
a look again.
Yeah, they do. They just want to.
Gentlemen,
They're
no
just trying to force the
blockers,
Dragons
please.
into making a mistake, and that's what it is. You know, it's 16 minutes gone. It's just a bit of this arm wrestle. It's testing each other out.
It's off the mark.
And they're going to keep it tight here and try and rumble on.
This looks set up pretty well here.
And it's Varley who's got the ball at the base there.
All about patience, this is.
And they're still going, and there will be an advantage as well. Great work by the Munster 8. The Dragons under a bit of pressure here. There's still an advantage out to Zebo on the far side. Can he conjure up something? Well tackled in the end by Putner, but they're still there right in the far corner. But no advantage, and they'll have to go back to that penalty.
Yeah, nice play there by the referee, just allowing an advantage. You know, giving Munster a chance to really have a crack at them, but you can see here, just coming in.
And that was certainly old Munster. That was the power up front.
If you've got that in your armoury, it's so difficult to defend against. And this was, you know, they had a bit of an advantage here. They're trying to get Zebo one-on-one. Doesn't really have much room. That's when you need like a North or a Cuthbert, you know, someone big. Someone's just going to run over the top of you. You know, Zebo needs a little bit more room, use his footwork.
Well, you would have been happy with Cuthbert's effort last night. Superb individual score by Alex Cuthbert, albeit in defeat against Leinster. But JJ Hanrahan here, Munster's outside half, trying to put his team back in front. And again, struck it well, no problem, drawing it in, and Munster deservedly back in the lead.
Yeah, nice kick. Now, if I was the Dragons now, I'd be sort of saying to my kicker, let's just get a long kick off down there. Let's try and get a bit of possession. Let's put a lot of pressure on the kick. Force Munster to kick out. You know, forget the short one now. Let's get a bit of territory. Let's let them make the mistake.
No, Ronan O'Gara, this are big shoes to fill. Whoever takes that fly half spot after years of service, O'Gara is now retired.
See, this is my point. They do a good kick-off. No one really challenges from Munster. They let them have it. You know, it's a free win for them.
But in turn,
shows you how much I know.
Well, it looked as if the Dragons just gave away possession there, but they won a crucial penalty.
Yeah, it's key this. It is key. Just keep the scoreboard ticking there. Great take there. No one really challenged that kick. It was a good kick as well. Great line speed there by Dixon again.
And I think
forces Munster back inside. You know, you can't take the outside option. And then tackles made and they're around him like flies.
Chaparro was there challenging on his feet. And that was where the penalty was given away. Burton, it looks good. And they draw level.
Yeah, good start this is. You know, by the Dragons, just keeping themselves in the game. You know, haven't really entered Munster's 22, but you know, have forced penalties out of Munster, keeping themselves well in the game.
Into the second quarter then. And neither side really stamping their authority on things at the moment. Well taken by the Dragons, but again, and how many times do we see this at regional level? Or They've just got back level and they've given away a silly, cheap penalty there.
And
that's Dixon.
That. You can't do that. You know, his eyes aren't even on the ball. Blatant obstruction there.
I'm sure Lynn Jones will be venting his anger as we speak because totally unnecessary.
Yeah, it's just a waste, isn't it? It just, you know, he won't make that mistake again now.
One of the youngsters, Jack Dixon, in the Dragons side, Wales under 18 and under 20s player, and many believe that he's got a bright future, but his mistake has given JJ Hanrahan a chance. And he struck it well, but unfortunately for him, fortunately for the Dragons, he's pulled it wide.
That was a tough kick. It was right on the touchline, but nothing wrong with having a stab at that. Looks good all the way, doesn't it? And then the wind just catches it.
Sigh of relief then for the Dragons and for Jack Dixon after giving away that penalty.
Yeah, it is.
Bit of a let-off.
Especially as a player, and you give away a penalty, just think, oh, please don't get it, please don't get it. And when they don't, it's just relief.
Cothell now to Hanrahan, who spreads it wide. This is Keith Earls, the Lion. Played on the wing last week, but in midfield to face the Dragons.
This is good line speed by the Dragons there.
No room at the moment, no clear-cut opportunities. Not really getting over the advantage line, Munster. But a quick ball now. Johnny Murphy takes it forward. The Dragons quite happy at the moment in terms of their defensive line.
Yeah, they are, and you can see a big difference. So, like the Dragons, the way they defend to the Cardiff Blues last night. Cardiff Blues very passive, but the Dragons are getting off the line.
It has gone forward in the end from Hanrahan's high hanging kick, and he was forced to kick, to be honest, because the Dragons were up very quickly, and I'm sure Kingsley Jones's work is rubbing off as well. We've spoken about Lynn Jones, Tom, but he's an integral part of that coaching unit as well.
Oh yeah, he's huge. You know, the Dragons got some great coaches there now, and you just get this real feel-good factor from them. You know, the team's buzzing. It was a great win last week for them. You know, they're always going to be the underdogs, but you know, it just feels something about them this year that's going to come through. And I said this before, but I think Richie Reese is going to be a key part of this. Such a great scrum half, and it's taking nothing away from Jonathan Evans. He's having a good game tonight.
Dragons front row under a bit of pressure, but they've done well to relieve it through Chris Burton's long kick taken. And here's Simon Zebo.
Away 7 blue!
There you are, look at that, that's behind the game line.
And that's been the story so far in terms of Munster. An awful pass by Hanrahan, and it's gone forward. Well, you won't want to look at that again. That was terrible.
Yes, it looked like just slipped right out of his hands there.
As we see the Joker himself, Lynn Jones. I'm sure if nothing else, Tom, the training sessions are livelier with his presence now, and with Lynn in the dressing room.
Yeah, they're bound to be. But you know, he gets the most out of the boys. He gets the most out of the players. He gets a reaction from them. You know, he's a very dry, funny guy, but he's a great coach.
Yes, interviewed him numerous times. That's one thing you can't second guess, Lynn Jones.
Not a bad attacking opportunity this is now for the Dragons. Got a bit of room to play with. Just need, as we spoke about, this solid platform. You know, the scrum is a great way to attack. It's a great position.
There hasn't been an issue with scrum so far. We'll maintain what we've got.
No Toby Falatau from the base. He's been rested tonight. But Tilley and Naval Deputy from
Fine. Set.
at number 8.
Yes, 9.
Got it out quick now.
And they've done well in the end. Now Tilley floats it out to Chris Burton behind the advantage line. Under pressure a bit here, the Dragons. Lewis Evans takes it on.
Yeah, they've done all right.
Jonathan Evans.
Ooh, was there a little hole for him there? Looked like it just opened up.
Evans out to Burton for the drop goal. Is it on target? It's going to drop short and wide in the end. Perhaps worth a shout because they weren't really making headway.
Yeah, not at all. I wouldn't be too disappointed with that. He has a crack not far away at all. As you can sort of see there by the long shot, there wasn't much else on. You know, it gives them a chance to sort of regain the ball from a 22.
The new half-back pairing tonight is, of course, Burton and Jonathan Evans instead of Tavi and Richie Rees, who dropped to the bench.
Yeah, it's a strong bench to come on, you know, if things aren't going well. You know, to have Tavi, Richie Rees and Adam Hughes. It's great to have a strong bench.
Well taken by Hanrahan, and the elusive pass as well from the back of the hand. But the Dragons will be very happy to stay there as Cothell goes the aerial route. Anyone's ball really, but it did go forward. Bit of a scrappy period this. Munster not really getting going either.
No one's really asserting themselves on the game. It's a bit mix and match really at the moment. You know, it's still early doors.
Last one is as marginal as you're going to get. I want to go back to the standards that you've set beforehand. Okay.
That's the evergreen Doncha O'Callaghan. Years of service, his 16th season now with the province. Double Lion, of course. You travelled with him in New Zealand, Tom?
Yes, I did. He is.
In 2005.
He's a crazy guy. We're just walking past the gym and they were doing an aerobic session and he just joined in. Just off the cuff. Loving it.
Good man to have on tour there.
Yeah, you need people like that. You need the characters.
Bind.
And we're used to his partnership with Paul O'Connell in the Boiler House for Munster. O'Connell is on the bench tonight. Not a bad person to call upon either. Paul O'Connell.
This is perfect now for the backs to attack. You've got the extra man with the scrum half who can come round. If they can get the ball in and out, Tilley can just feed his scrum half, Jonathan Evans, and they can really have a good crack.
The feed is under the microscopes as well, Tom, isn't it, this season? That's another new element that's come in terms of the laws.
Scrum halves don't feed it anymore.
Bind.
They always put it in straight.
Yes, 9.
That's good.
And there we have it. The crooked feeds.
Yeah, looked all right to me.
Feeding.
Chance for Munster then to regroup. Cothell is on the ball, out to Hanrahan. They spread it wide. Comes to Keith Earls, Zebo. Not much room there, so they'll have to come back in field.
Positive by Munster, you know, they want to keep the ball in hand, they want to keep the game fast.
And they're targeting the blind side again. Bit of space out there.
Yeah, they've done that 3 or 4 times this half. They've hit the midfield, then they've gone back blind.
The Dragons so far have been very comfortable in terms of their defensive patterns. But this time, they've given a penalty away at the tackle area.
What is key is when teams do hit the midfield, it is key that you get your centres, who are probably the best sort of defensive players in your back line, one either side of the ruck. You know, just to organise, just to keep talking to the wingers, keep pulling the forwards out. You know, that's why communication is so important. You know, you don't want all your backs on one side, you're left with a winger, you know, and possibly some front row. You know, it's important you get 2 backs, centre and your winger, and then your 10 can sort of float, and they're the ones who are controlling the defence.
And Hanrahan bangs it down into the Dragons 22.
That's okay.
So a bit of defensive work for the visitors now.
Yeah,
Important now that they keep their shape 10 minutes before half-time.
Well, I think we're due a try soon. You know, there hasn't been too many opportunities this half. Defences have both really come out on top.
The final score on your screen there is the Ospreys 43, Connacht 26 out at the sports ground in Galway, and that's a very good win for the Ospreys, and you can't underestimate how important a win out in Galway, because they've slipped up there in the past last season.
Well, not just them, you know, plenty of teams have slipped up there. It's a tough place to go. You know, Galway, Connacht, they just, you know, they don't give you any easy points whatsoever. So that is a great win. That's a bonus point win for the Ospreys. You know, they're just gonna be super confident now with the rest of the games. They've had a great start to the season. They played brilliantly last week. They earned that draw out in Leinster. So, you know, you got to. It's good to see these Welsh regions who are positive and winning.
Yeah, unbeaten. 3 out of 4, bar that drawn match out at Leinster, which they had their chances to win that game.
They're so well drilled though, the Ospreys. They know exactly how they want to play. They've got a great pack, you know, just a real streetwise, solid 8.
And a huge psychological boost there for the Dragons front row. Munster judged to have pulled that one down, and the front row will have loved that one. Here it is. Neil Patterson, no doubt there that Munster were at fault. It just relieves the pressure, doesn't it, at the vital time for the Dragons.
Yeah, it looked like John Ryan there just lost his footing at the scrum.
Take a step, Red, please.
Who knows?
Such a mess, the scrummage. Last season in particular, we saw that Wales-Scotland game up in Murrayfield. So hopefully the IRB have tried to address the issues. They've taken the hit out. Good bit of ball for Munster. Cothell. Hanrahan ships it out in midfield. The forwards out there as they plough in. Again, it's recycled well.
Yeah, they do well there, slowing it down. Just reorganise.
And then they go for territory. Unfortunately, just slowed up at the vital time for Munster. And it's Johnny Murphy who tries to pin the Dragons back again to their 22. 7 minutes to go now, crucial time in the context of this game. Dragons won't want to concede now.
It's always around this time that teams do concede.
And it's O'Mahony who comes clear.
Away, blue 7!
Mistake in the Dragons ranks at the line out. Chance here for Munster then. Cothell, options here. Dragons try line in the distance. Cothell, here's the angle, and the try is awarded, and it's James Cronin who ploughs over the try line. Good pass from Cothell, and Cronin on hand to dive over for the opening score.
All of that was good play. You know, Munster had 3 or 4 big ball carriers, all get over the gain line. Quick recycled ball, stems from the line out. Look at this. Quick ball there. And what's difficult there is you've got Sheridan running across. No one knows who's going to take him. He gets nailed after the pass, but just sucks one in.
And they've scored right at the vital time, less than 5 minutes before the interval. Hammer blow then for the Dragons as Hanrahan tries to make it 7. And again, with the wind, he's drawn it in perfectly. So there's a 7-point deficit now in terms of the Dragons. And just as we were saying, conceding right before the interval, and this is the mistake.
Yeah, well, he looks like he's taken out in the air by an arm. And then, you know, 3 or 4 quick rucks straight away over the gain line, quick ball. try.
Well, they were unlucky there. Definitely impeded at the line out. And as a result, Omani came clear at the back.
Stand 3.
Well, no one claiming it for the Dragons, and in open spaces, Andrew Conway. A mistake by the visitors. And can Munster make them pay here?
That's the second kick that the Dragons will let bounce.
Hanrahan, Munster going for points before the break. They have to keep their composure here, the Dragons.
No, stay true.
Hanrahan floats it out, the miss pass in the middle. Crossfield somewhat, now Zebo comes back in the angle.
Off your feet now, Blue.
The Dragons now just need to hold their channels. No one needs to shoot out.
And they can't give any penalties away here.
You know, you can't get line speed off.
Off your feet, Blue.
Well, Lewis Evans was challenging. Chip kick by Zebo into the 22 again. Dan Evans is there under pressure and on his favoured left foot. Gets some distance on it. Is Murphy though with a high hanging Hail Mary again. Good take by Burton. As the Munster forwards pile in. The Dragons have done well.
Yeah, they look a little bit tired, the Dragons at the moment, all just standing there. Need to get in position quickly,
Leave it, Red.
get organised and clear their lines.
Chance for Burton to do so. He couldn't go directly to touch, obviously. He just passed back inside Zebo, and that's not a good one either. And a chance could appear for the Dragons here. Conway is there, and he does the sweeping job for Munster. That could have gone anywhere. Mistake by Zebo.
Sees a bit of space. Oh. I don't know what you call that. A shank?
Well, he'd say it was a cross kick, but it was far from it.
A duck hook, that's what you'd call that one.
Hasn't gone the necessary 5 metres, has it?
Scrum called.
The lineout's causing them a problem at the moment, isn't it, the Dragons? They don't seem to be winning their own ball.
Yes, he said you moved off centre and then just didn't throw it in straight, okay?
No, it wasn't straight.
No, it wasn't.
And they've just lost their shape, the Dragons, for a few minutes, which have given Munster the opportunity, and they've capitalised on it.
Yes, it's been the set piece really that have caused Munster problems. You know, their own set piece, and that's key. You know, you've got to win your own ball.
Into the final minute then.
Crouch.
Apart from
Bind.
the James Cronin try,
Yes, 9.
no clear-cut opportunities, not much between the sides. It's just in the final quarter that Munster have gained their authority, and they're doing so now. And the Dragons scrum pulled apart.
Destroyed that, wasn't it? Look at this. Ball goes in. Now it's just a flat-out 8-man push against another, and
we have time for the line out. Yes.
you can see Sheridan there just urging his pack on.
Stop the clock there, Jude, for me.
And there is time for the line out, so they're going for another 5-point score here, Munster. Just keeping the pressure on the Dragons. And this would be a mighty blow if they were to gain another score before the break.
Yeah, this is a huge play. This is a turning point in the game now, I think. If the Dragons can clear their lines and not leak any points now, they've still got a good chance second half. But as we said, you know, it's hard when you've got to claw back 10 points.
Just have to show some character now then, the Dragons, as Dougal goes through. Cothell out to Dave Foley, the second row. This will be the final chance then for Munster, as Omani tries to gain the hard yards. Cothell, there are men out here.
Good defence there.
And in the end, that defence
holding.
has won the Dragons the penalty and a chance to go in
6 on his feet,
with a 7-point deficit.
Yeah, Jevon Groves there.
Yep.
Hot on it. Good tackle there again. Dixon. There you are.
Number 8.
Jevon Groves comes in late.
And that indeed was the final play of the first half. So it's a James Cronin try that separates the teams at the interval. And no clear-cut opportunities apart from that score as Munster lead by 13 points to 6.
Now at thoughts, mae'n cael cwmni Kingsley Jones.
Diolch Gareth, Kingsley, Munster deserve to be ahead?
Yeah, I think so. We've struggled with our line-out. Set piece hasn't been what it should be, and you know, they've capitalised on that. You can't lose line-outs. You know, 22 aside of that quality will take points, and that's what they've done. Positives, defended around the halfway line, okay, but we really need to get our own game going, and we ain't going to do that without sorting out the line-out and the scrum. So that's been the chat in the changing room. But it's only 13-6, and a new 40 minutes. Let's hope we can put those things right.
Doable, more than doable.
Yeah, well, definitely we believe so, but as I said, we've got to get those things right.
Kingsley Jones, diolch yn fawr.
Thank you.
A nawr te, mae'n bryd i ni fynd lan at y tîm sylwebu at Emyr Lewis a Gwyn Jones.
Diolch Dot. Diddorol clywed barn y tîm hyfforddi. Hynny yw, trio datrys y problemau trwy pethau technegol, falle maen nhw wedi wneud yn ystod yr egwyl. Y cwestiwn i fi ateb Emyr, nid gyda gymaint o flaenwyr dati ar y fainc, nid os wyt ti'n wneud newidiadau, ond pryd wyt ti'n mynd i wneud nhw? Faint o amser ti'n gallu gadael i pethau mynd mlaen fel maen nhw?
Wel, ni'n disgwyl newidiadau fewn y 10 munud. Mae'n amlwg bod y lein yn ddiffygliol. Mae'n amlwg hefyd bod y scrum, ond hefyd i gêm cicio nhw. Ar un o bryd mae Munster,
Now listening to live commentary on the BBC Interactive service of this Pro12 match between Munster and the Dragons, with Munster leading by 13 points to 6 at the interval and just pulling away slightly in that final quarter of the first half. The Dragons right there in the thick of it up until then, although a try by prop James Cronin giving Munster a bit of breathing space. But the next period now is going to be also crucial in the context of this match. The first score could prove the difference. Dan Evans being ripped by Peter O'Mahony there. And it could be a turnover. And I think Munster, no. In fact, the Dragons, perhaps slightly lucky, holding on to possession. Tom Shanklin joining me in the commentary position, and this period is going to be so important, Tom.
Yeah, I think the Dragons need to get some sort of points fairly early on in this half.
Skippers.
Yeah, you know,
Skippers.
Was Dan Evans, was he held up? Did he get to ground? Yeah, whatever. The Dragons have retained the ball.
Excuse me.
Oi.
Rather than talking to each other, just listen for a second. That's not the way we want to start the second half, with you two shouting at each other. We talked about pulling players off the ball. Set a standard, please. Scrum, blue ball.
It's always nice to listen to referees. You feel like you're back in school, just getting told off by your teacher.
It's your mark.
Notice Andrew Coombs saying, "Sorry, sir." That's the magic word, I think, when it comes to dealing with the referees.
They love being called sir. That's one from ZZ Top just then. But going back to that, it was a great kick chase there by the Dragons. You could see their line all across the field. It forced Keith Earls just to put a little grubber in, and Dan Evans did well to retain the ball for his team.
Dan Evans enjoying a rich vein of form at the moment. Scored last week, didn't he, against the Scarlets?
Yeah, played well last week, very well.
And that's the shove coming through from the Munster 8 again. The Dragons under all sorts of pressure there, and this is going to be another penalty. Well, completely destroyed there, the Dragons 8, as we saw at the tail end of the first half. And what a psychological blow that is.
Yeah, it's hard work now for the Dragons. You know, they just need to get quick ball out of there as fast as they can. But you know, what can you do against this? It's an awesome Munster pack. Just keeps going forward and forward. You can see their legs pumping. Just keeping it in there. looking for the penalty. Eventually comes, and it's a choice now. Do they go for the corner or shot at goal?
It was Lewis Evans, I think, again, that was penalised in the end, although the whole front row could have been penalised. But Neil Patterson has had a word with Andrew Coombs, and next time there will be a yellow card. So it really is crunch time now for the Dragons.
Yeah, it certainly stops players, you know, when the threat of a yellow card comes out. But yeah, that's good play, Peter O'Mahony. Telling his 10, kick it to the corner. I can't see this one going out wide. It's going to stay pretty tight, I'd say. Win the ball, have a crack at the drive. If it's not on, and you reset.
Here comes the driving maul. But what a let-off for the Dragons. Paddy Butler penalised. He was in front of the man. And that is a huge let-off for the Dragons, because we knew what was coming.
Yeah.
They'd formed the Munster 8.
You're in front obstructing.
He was obstructing, according to Neil Patterson, Paddy Butler. So a huge sigh of relief then for the Dragons, because it would have been very, very difficult had they scored from that, to claw back from that deficit.
This is key now. You know, I'd like to see the Dragons. They need a bit of territory to start with, and they need to keep those points ticking over. Nothing wrong now, just playing a bit of a kicking game now. Trying to sort of force Munster to make the mistake.
Evans. Across the three-quarter line. No impetus there going forward. Chance now.
He's on his own here. Oh, he's done well.
Bit isolated, but it's back on the Dragons' side. Slow ball though. So it's through the middle with the forwards. But as Tom was mentioning, patience, the key word, going through phase after phase. And they've gained what could be a crucial penalty.
Post indicated.
Yeah.
2 red. Yes, if you'd have stayed on your feet, you'd have won the turnover, but you went off your feet to win it.
There you are. You can hear the ref. And you just got to make sure you listen the whole time to the ref. And when he's saying let it go, you're off your feet. That's it. You've got to throw your arms out to the side. You know, start shouting to the ref, I'm leaving it, I'm leaving it.
It's a fine line, isn't it, in that tackle area, to what's adjudged if the player's on his feet or he's crouching over.
Well, I think half the forwards can't hear anyway, because their ears are so puffed up and they're so cauliflowered. You know, they've only got a little hole. But look, this is what the Dragons want. You know, this is what they're after. They're trying to force teams to make mistakes.
Chris Burton then.
Big kick this is.
The Italian fly half to bring the Dragons within 4. He struck it well. Is it on target? Yes, it is. Great kick by Chris Burton. Just what the Dragons needed at the start of the second half, and they're right back in it.
Beautiful kick. Just lets the wind take it, drift it in. At one stage, I thought Pridey possibly was going to take it, because he's got he's massive, long-range kicker, but Burton had it in his sights.
Just used the wind, used the conditions at Musgrave Park. So successfully floated over. It's gone forward.
Knock on. 13's in front. They took themselves out.
To lay down.
You knocked it on. 13's in front.
He's carried well for him in the first half. Showed a bit of pace as well, didn't he?
Great burst right in the first quarter, right in front of his post.
You can see 2 of them there, both going for the ball. Has anyone called? Looks like he just lands on his left.
Takes a bang, perhaps to the knee. Good to see him back on his feet anyway. The Fijian international.
A big lump as well, isn't he? That's a good kick. Nice and deep into Munster's half.
And now a chance for the visitors. If they could get another score here, build some pressure. It's with Lewis Evans. Gustafsson. Munster keeping them at bay at the moment, though. Out now by Evans to Burton with a missed pass.
Yeah, as a back, you don't really want that. You're playing off slow ball. You know, you'd rather the forwards carry it up. You know, get on the front foot, then give it to the backs.
And Jonathan Evans is collared by 2 men in red. And he'll do well here to put it back on the Dragon side. Well, Neil Patterson has seen something here.
Time's off, please.
Someone using a boot there.
Time's off, please. Just take a step here.
Don't touch his head, sir.
Just take a step there.
Oh, he's going to go.
I didn't touch his head.
Red, take a step, please. Gonna check that.
Well, it's definitely use of the boot.
I know.
Let's hear what Neil Patterson has to say about it.
Well, it depends where the ball is, right? If the ball is...
I've seen this player's have to come round the corner. Yes. Okay, put boot on the top part of his shoulder. Yes. In your opinion, did he get into the head, or should we check the TMO? Check the TMO.
Well, they are going to go upstairs.
Jude, could you have a little look, please? Can you check just at that last breakdown there? The boot of the use of 4.
It's Andrew Coombs under the spotlight.
Can you check if there's any contact on the head, please?
Okay, Paddy, I will have a look.
Thank you.
Okay.
Jude Quinn is the TMO, and he has the responsibility here. And that's Andrew Coombs just floating at the back of that ruck. Well, he could be in trouble here.
He could be in trouble.
And that's similar to the incident out in Brisbane with James Horwill on Alan Wynne-Jones in the first test.
You know, the ball is there.
I think Andrew Coombs
what I can
is
see
in
the
hot
big
water
screen
here.
is the 2
Sloppy
contacts
play
on
by
the
Andrew
back
Coombs.
of the neck, but not on the head. Can you see anything better on the television screen, please?
No, Paddy, I cannot see anything better than that.
So, what I've seen on that, I'm going to yellow card number 4 blue for reckless use of the boot.
Dangerous play, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Number 4, please.
I think that's sensible. It wasn't on
That's
the head.
reckless use of the boot.
I don't think you can argue with that whatsoever.
Well, reckless play
Marks is
by
gonna be
the
here.
Dragons captain Andrew Coombs, and he gets 10 minutes in the bin.
It was boot.
And
Boot.
He looks alright to me though, doesn't he? He's got straight back up. He didn't milk it for too long.
but that's the use of the screen now in the stadium as well. Referees can have a look themselves.
It was fairly close to the head though, wasn't it? So you do have to be careful. There he is.
Line outside. Take the line,
Paul
please.
O'Connell. How many years has he got left? They just go on and on. Those pair, O'Connell and that man, number 4, O'Callaghan.
Still both in great shape. Still can play top flight rugby.
Good ball here for Munster. Here comes the drive.
He's fine.
Coffel marshalling the
Through
troops.
the middle.
Dragons coming through the middle, that's okay, according to Neil Patterson. But now comes the secondary surge here, and it's so difficult to stop. Here they come, Munster still on their feet. Great work. And in the end,
6.
and there's going to be, is there going to be another card? Are they going to be down to 13 men?
6.
It's Jevon Groves that's been called.
It doesn't get any more cynical than that one.
And that was pulled down, cynical play according to Neil Patterson. And this is going to be oh so difficult now for the Dragons. Down to 13 men against the might of Munster.
Okay, scrum called. Tell him to keep the composure.
There he is.
Almost impossible to stop as well.
That's just like a judo move that is, just taking him down.
I think that's the only way they're going to prevent a score there.
Well, this is difficult now. 30 men, 2 of them are out the pack. You need to get a back in there, and backs don't really know how to defend off scrums. You know, you sometimes get chucked in there on your own ball, but you don't have to do anything.
Well, teams are accustomed to being down to 14 men in the modern game and being able to defend with 14 men, but it's a different ball game with 2 men in the sin bin. Those 2, Jevon Groves and Andrew Coombs.
They've just got to do everything they can now, the Dragons, to wind the clock down, run that 10 minutes down as slow as they can. Damage limitation it is now.
Dan Way, incidentally, on for Francisco Chaparro in the front row. Huge test of the Dragons' character here then. This could be a big moment. In by Cothell. Dragons trying to disrupt it. Cothell slips. And he's collared by Tilley. Zebo momentarily playing scrum half. Chance on the far side. In the far corner. Dragons certainly fighting for their lives here.
Yeah, it's all about work right now. It's about making a tackle, getting off the floor, getting back in the defensive line.
But they've got so many men over. Surely it's going to be too much here for the Dragons. It's out. Cothell. Again, they keep it tight. On by Butler. In the shadow of the posts now. Options on both sides. O'Mahony goes clear and ploughs over. And it had to come in the end. It was inevitable. They had so many options, Munster. And it was the captain, Peter O'Mahony, who drove through the middle to score Munster's second try. And there's a bit of daylight now between the teams.
Pretty inevitable this was coming.
Okay, Paddy, I will have a look.
I think they're going to have a look at it. I don't think there's a problem at all.
Lovely scrum half try that is. Down to the right. And a nice reach over the line.
But you felt it had to come in the end.
You did. I mean, we're down to 13 men. It's so hard. 14 men you can cope with. You're sooner or later going to run out of numbers, run out of room.
Not quite sure. I think they're looking at the pickup here. Is there a slight knock on? I don't think there's any problem with this, as O'Mahony goes over the whitewash.
Just sells the dummy, doesn't he? Look, just falls for it. Needs half a metre to dive over.
Yeah, just checking on the pickup.
Okay, I have a decision.
Time,
Paddy?
Yes.
Paddy?
Yes.
There is nothing clear and obvious there. You may award a try.
Thank you.
And try is awarded, as we all suspected. No problems at all.
I don't know how long he looked at that for.
It seemed very unnecessary, to say the least. But all of a sudden, Munster have got daylight between them and the Dragons, and the game has turned on its head, really, in the last 5 minutes or so, with the two sin bins. That's so disappointing, especially when you think about Andrew Coombs' dismissal, first of all. Dragons down in Munster territory, and now, in an instant, in a blink of an eye, Munster are up by 11 points.
Yeah, well, it's 11 points now, and it's, you need a try quickly to get back in the game, and it's horrible when you see someone going off, a second row going off, and then just replaced by just an absolute quality player like Paul O'Connell.
It's not a bad player to call upon from the bench, just as Munster gaining the upper hand. And not many teams can claw their way back against Munster on their home patch.
No, they can't, but it's down to Lynn Jones now whether he uses his bench of Richie Reese, Jason Clevey to come on. I mean, look, I think you can tell by the squad that Dragons have picked, they're sort of resting a few players. They're possibly just looking for some sort of bonus losing point. You can't field your strongest team every single week, and I'm sure Richie and Jason will probably play some part of this game later on.
Yeah, to give some fresh impetus from the bench as the Dragons floated out. Dan Evans up from fullback.
Bit of a Maori sidestep there as well, isn't it?
And they need to keep ball here with two men on the sidelines. Just play the clock here for the time being. Burton. And across field go the Dragons. There was nothing on there really. They just were going across field.
You know when teams are closing out games, when they're They're just picking and going around the ruck. That's what the Dragons need to do now. Just simple stuff, buy a bit of time. You know, keep it tight. You know, they've got 13 players on. There's not going to be any overlaps. So you just get the forwards to pick and go. You run short runners off 9. You just get over the gain line. You take your time. You bring the forwards back round the corner, and you go again.
I seem to remember you out in Ireland when Martin Williams was sin-binned a few years ago.
Yeah.
Just going pick and drive, pick and drive.
Yeah, for about 10 minutes, I think. But it winds. I know it's negative play, but that's what you got to do when you're down to 14, let alone 13 men.
Bind.
There's a need to be streetwise in this period now.
Off the mark.
And it is another free kick, so everything going Munster's way at the moment.
They'll want to speed this game up now. They want to throw the ball around.
Hanrahan out to the middle.
Tackle away.
Driven on by Butler. It's there, and there's another penalty. Not rolling away in the tackle. And the penalties are flowing now in Munster's favour.
Yeah, you could just hear Peter Mahoney there. O'Mahony, just Omani even. Slowing his scrum half down. I think Sheridan there was looking to tap and go, but he wants to go for a line out. Possibly want a little bit longer on that kick there.
Blue 6, okay. Blue 6 substitution.
And there is going to be a change here for the Dragons.
Clock stopped. 6 is the one that I yellow carded. Clock is stopped.
Well, they initially said blue 6, but Jevon Groves, of course, is off. Yayan Jones is going to come on.
Yeah.
He's the young under-20s number 8. And many people believe that he's quite a talent at Rodney Parade as well. Got a big future.
This is a good challenge for him here.
20's got to go back off.
I'm wondering what is going on
Don't
now.
ask me that one.
I think what they're saying there is Jevon Groves' time in the sin bin hasn't ended yet, so he has to go off until the 10 minutes is up, but possibly just trying to get away with it.
Skipper.
Maybe it's Lynn Jones just trying to be a little bit crafty there.
Neil Patterson alert.
Next one, put some bits and body. I'm just going to reverse.
And Richie Rees, we see as well, is going to be coming on.
Yeah, he's got his game face on there. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. Now the Dragons just trying to change things up a little bit.
Mark's on me. Time's back on.
They need a score. They need a score soon.
Right in the gap.
Damien Varley finds his man in the line-out, and here comes the drive again. The Dragons have been punished in this area. The last time Jevon Groves was sent to the sin bin for dragging down deliberately. And here comes the peel as well. And they're so effective at doing this.
Yeah, this is old school rugby, isn't it?
Munster at their best. And they're still going on. Look at the surge. The forwards working hard. Now they have to use it. Cothell on the switch comes Zebo.
Good tackle there.
No, he had no effect.
Stops him dead.
Cothell, great pass to O'Connell. It opens up for the Lion. Now they're behind the defensive line. Chance here for Munster.
Forward.
Well, that pass was forward to Hanrahan. There was a big chance as O'Connell went through. They were behind the defensive line and they didn't capitalise.
9 blue substitution.
Yeah, they will be kicking themselves now, Munster. That was a great opportunity for them to try and put another try on the board, possibly another 3 points. But yeah, Andrew Coombs coming back on now. Just down to 14 men, possibly for 1.5 minutes.
Well, they need to concentrate here now. They need to clear their lines, gain some territory.
I'm tipping this guy who's just come on now, Richie Rees, to gain his spot back, or to gain a spot in the squad for the Autumn Internationals if he keeps going. Just a real sort of good player, gets the ball, get the forwards moving, he makes the right calls.
Angle and down.
Well, a crucial decision in terms of the Dragons, because they've got a chance now to relieve some pressure, and Ieuan Jones will have a chance now to come on.
Second time. But just going back to Richie Reece, you know, he's not the most physical of players, so what he does do is get the ball away quick. He keeps the tempo of the game high. He's got a good kicking game. You know, he covers well.
And he's a contrast, obviously, to the incumbent, Mike Phillips.
Yeah, and you know, it's good to have different styles and types of players.
I picked one prop each time.
I rate him very highly.
Well, those internationals will be upon us before we know it. South Africa, Argentina, Tonga and Australia.
No easy ones there, is there?
Well, South Africa beat Australia early on today at Newlands. Australia's desperate run continuing under the stewardship of Ewan McKenzie. Bobby Dean's all is forgiven.
Well, I think, judging by last year, you know, we don't need to panic if they lose all the games again in the autumn, because they'll win the Six Nations.
He did lost it forward, but it was just completely.
A couple of mistakes creeping into Munster's game now.
Defence on the 15, forward.
You know, letting the Dragons back in.
Well, if they could get the next score here, they'd be back in the game.
Oh yeah, totally.
And of course, it's early on, but even if they lose the game, losing bonus is on offer, which could be so important come the end of the season.
You take that, I think, at the start of the game with a team that's picked, you know, it's not their strongest team, and I think to come away with any bonus point loss to Munster and to Musgrave Park is acceptable.
Such is the nature of the Pro 12, with the 4 going on at the end of the season with the playoff system. And teams will be decimated by international call-ups during the autumn.
Both on this side as well.
That won't affect the Dragons as much.
Right, we're not starting for the hookers. Come here, please. As I said beforehand, the hookers have got responsibility. You're just on the pitch. I'm not accepting that standard, okay? I suggest you have a word with your new props, get them hitting higher and chill.
And that's the warning clear by Neil Patterson.
Okay, gentlemen.
I wonder if they actually relay that message. Or they just say, let's do the same again.
Crouch.
The new instruction, crouch, bind, set.
Set. Yes, 9.
It's in and out as quick as possible.
In a bit of trouble here, but illegally so, according to the referee.
Back row, not pushing straight.
Yes. Trying to wheel it round. A chance for Burton and a chance to get this score here.
Yeah, well, they need to build now. 20 minutes to go. You get deep inside Munster's half. That's a great kick. That is a great kick.
Inside.
What will Lynn Jones be saying now as we approach the last quarter?
Well, I think he'll just be hoping that, telling his team, make sure you secure your set-piece ball, take your time. There's no rush, and there we are.
And that's been the problem.
The whole game, that's been the problem.
And a chance for Munster to counter Zebo, the speedster, into the 22.
Well, you know, 1 minute you're in Munster's 22 with a line out, and next minute
Keep coming.
you're pinned back in your own half. You know, you can't compete, you can't win games like that.
Penalty advantage.
Tom, there will be a penalty here. The referee is playing advantage for offside. And they will be punished. A cross kick. It could work in Munster's favour out there. Surprisingly to everyone was Paul O'Connell.
18 and 5.
But they knew that the advantage was coming.
Never onside.
Well, I think now Munster probably should take a sensible option and take the points, because the game isn't won yet. But
we spoke about set piece. Kingsley Jones spoke that the set piece has cost them dear.
Huge. You've got to win. You've got to win that ball. You know, it's such an important stage of the game. 60 minutes, you get a line out in Munster's or on Munster's 22, and you lose your line out. Criminal. And now look, a minute later, you're 23-9 down. Probably.
Munster will gladly take the 3 points on offer here through JJ Hanrahan. Just to swing it back. Team's on target, and it is. So Munster have a comfortable cushion now between themselves and the Dragons as Lynn Jones looks on.
Difficult face to read, that, isn't it? It's a proper poker face. That's his happy face, that's his sad face.
10 red. Clock's off for you.
The rain starting to fall a little bit now. It's going to make the ball a little bit greasier. You know, team's going to play a little bit tighter. You'll probably see a few more handling errors.
Ian Keatley comes on for JJ Hanrahan, former Connacht player. Ian Keatley, bags of experience as well. And the danger is here that Munster will pull clear in the final quarter.
Yeah, the kickoffs have been pretty poor, I think, all game by the Dragons. You know, they've never really competed for them. They've given Munster easy ball. They've been pretty loose defending off the kickoffs.
Rees. Dragons try and spin it out.
You see so many teams trying that. You see them using forwards as ball players, throwing it behind them, but it's got to be an accurate pass.
Soleil. And he's done well. He's over the advantage line, and that's a start. Richie Rees out to Burton. And the runners, a few on offer for the Dragons. It's better play by the visitors. Burton looking for options. Bit stagnant.
Yeah, they just need to fight, get a bit of go forward now. Regroup, start again. You don't really want a 15 there, taking it up on his own against two forwards.
Dan Evans was caught. He was collared, wasn't he, by Donshire O'Callaghan.
Well, he didn't need to. He took it upon himself there to run up. You could see him. And he's running in super high.
There's Donshire O'Callaghan and Keatley, I think. That's just come on.
Two-man tackle, you know, the Ireland do. You know, you just one goes low, one goes to the ball. They try and hold him up. The choke tackle. But you don't want to back there. You know, especially sort of a smaller back running into two forwards on his own.
On the other side that time. Bit straighter, please.
Just in case if you're experiencing any problems with the language options on your television or set-top box, please contact the S4C Viewers hotline.
You've got one beside you. Do you want to make that sub now?
The number is 0870 600 4141. If you're experiencing any problems with the language options on tonight's game. Mike Sherry on for Damien Varley. And Adam Hughes is on for Tom Pridey.
Yeah, they're going to check everything they got now, I think. Munster, just over 15 minutes to go.
There's the Munster coaching unit, Rob Penny.
I'll have to say
Anthony Foley there.
Like Bradley Wiggins there as well.
Oh, Axel, as he was known during his playing days. Great servant, obviously for Munster and Ireland as well.
Yeah, he was a great player. Always remember Shane Williams just smashing him into touch, 2005.
To save a try.
Yeah, it was.
Bind. Set. Yes, 9.
Cothell. Good bit of pressure there by the Dragons unit.
Yeah. Forced up Munster.
Yeah, I'm coming across. Yeah. No, both on
I
the
think
mark.
the referee will have a look far side here. Or
9. I'm going to blow it quicker. You've got to get that ball in the middle. Right?
He's adamant. You've got to put it in
Inside
straight.
shoulder and stay in tight, please. Straight, not on the shoulder.
that's Dunway, who's just come on instead of Francisco Chaparro.
Bind.
Well, Patterson
Set.
just wants the scrum, the props to scrum straight.
Tight head.
Well, he's
I can see you all the way down the tunnel.
he's penalised Dan Way for bringing it down. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's such a mystery what goes on in the depths of the front row anyway.
Your tight head's
Let's have a look at this now.
Let's see.
Yeah, no, he's going to come down.
Well, hard to see anything from that angle.
Yeah, very difficult.
But it's a resulting penalty, and Ian Keatley's banged it right down into the opposition 22, and this is where the pressure comes now from Munster. And they're trying to round things off now with 15 minutes to go.
Secure ball.
Romani's up there. Good bit of ball. Well, it was almost intercepted.
No, he didn't slap it down.
Munster asking for a deliberate
Just a simple
knock-on, but
knock-on.
I think he genuinely tried to go for the ball.
He did.
19 blue.
Read it well.
Which one's he
The
there?
inside ball.
19 blue. Settle down, please.
It was Ian Jones who almost latched onto it.
Oh, I think if he didn't latch onto it, possibly someone would have been through for Munster there. But they're not. They're not off yet, are they?
Crouch.
Huge scrum this is for the Dragons.
Bind. Set. Yes, 9.
Hothel Sheridan with a foot in. And again, for the second time running, the penalty goes Munster's way.
Not square and driving
So they're not
stable.
getting any change from the referee in that department at the moment.
Here we are.
This is touch, line out, drive,
Not square and stable.
try.
Keatley into the corner. So difficult for the Dragons now.
Skipper, we'll isolate it now. Very be careful of the scrum, please. Penalties are building up. Not an issue with the bind, thanks.
And the Dragons 8 have been warned, as has Andrew Coombs, the visitors' captain. And here comes the surge from the Munster 8. Have to be wary of keeping it on the field of play. They've done so. Hothel Sheridan is directing proceedings. It goes out to Sean Dougal. He's foiled, and it's the penalty for the Dragons. Great work there.
He's isolated.
That was a great hit.
He went past.
You saw the Dragons players off the line.
Holding.
Did so well.
And held on. Player was isolated, and great technique.
I have been really impressed with the attitude from the Dragons. Look at that, straight off the line, nice and low.
Substitution, please.
There's no soak-up tackle there. It's an aggressive tackle, takes them straight down and just enables the Dragons then to challenge for the ball on the floor.
Stay on the line.
You know, Munster do well here. You think they're set up, they come back in field, but tackling is all about attitude.
Good ball for the Dragons. Off the top, Richie Rees using Burton.
Oh, needed someone on his shoulder there, didn't he?
They're over the advantage line. Rees switches play. It's out to Burton. Bit of space here for the Dragons.
Oh, he did well to sneak out of
Sheridan
that.
flying into the tackle. Coombs.
That's nice play there by Coombs, just changing the point of contact. A little bit wider out.
Not the best pass. And the Dragons under a bit of pressure here to regain possession.
See, a pass like that just stops all momentum. You have, just slows the game down.
And it's a turnover.
And the Dragons have tried that a couple of times, haven't they? They try to be a little bit sneaky and throw it behind a couple of the forward runners. But the pass has to be perfect. You need someone in there who's passing that ball who's got a tidy pass, you know, someone who can make those passes under pressure.
Munster desperately trying to hit back after their last week's defeat against Treviso, going down by 29-19 away from home.
No, you're not. Not with his leg up.
The Ospreys, incidentally, have won out in Connacht at the sports ground in Galway. So they keep their unbeaten record intact. Last night, of course, the Blues going down against Leinster, and the Scarlets gaining a victory away from home at Edinburgh.
Last couple have been marginal, as I said.
So a bit of a mixed bag in terms of the Welsh regions this weekend.
Yeah, Edinburgh are a struggling team at the moment. I saw them last weekend against the Ospreys. They were very poor. Again, the same yesterday against the Scarlets. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes next week with the Blues.
A team in transition, perhaps, Edinburgh under Alan Solomon.
I think Edinburgh were their best when Andy Robinson was in charge. You know, they were a well-drilled team, they were an offloading team. They had a style of play, and they're sort of a little bit lost at the moment.
So Joe Schmidt there, who's taking over the reins at Ireland.
Set. Yes, 9. Thank you.
Oh, good work from Richie Rees.
Oh, great steal, great steal.
Munster have it. Cothell Sheridan to keep pressure on the Dragons, and has gone over the near touchline.
Outside.
Unfortunately so for Simon Zebo.
Just
clock is off. We're making a substitution.
Great. That was a lovely turnover.
Clock is off, gentlemen. 9.
Bit of space. That ball can go anywhere.
Gents, we're making a scrum half substitution, but all of you
at the
take a
moment,
step,
it's forcing the Dragons to play out their own half, to play out their own 22.
Outside the 22.
Well, they haven't looked like scoring out their own 22 so far this game. So
Up we come.
It's Duncan Williams on for Cothell Sheridan, a scrum half.
He's back on.
Plenty of experience. No Peter Stringer these days, who's gone to Bath. It's so odd seeing Munster without the names of Stringer and O'Gara in their ranks.
Release 6, Brad!
Richie Rees. And some spark now, the Dragons, to claw their way back into this one.
Push!
Change of direction by Richie Rees.
good angle that is.
And release 7, Reds!
Bit slow for the Dragons though. Out on the far side, it's a bit lateral at the moment.
Yeah, but they're getting over the gain line. You know, they're throwing it wide. Munster have given them the outside, and they're taking it.
Rock!
Again, it's there. Recycled well, Richie Rees. Now to Evans, up from fullback. And the scissors, it looked to be working well. Let's play on, is it?
Yeah, this has gone.
Finally blown up.
Not gone by.
I think that was Ian Jones there, just trying to throw an offload as he was going down, just around the back of the Munster player, and nearly went the hand. No, it was good play there by the Dragons. They were lateral across the field, and you think, right, where are they going? Then all of a sudden, someone comes back on a switch, gets over the gain line.
Pardon? Yeah, I'm just going to have a word.
It's going to be interesting to see that one again.
I know.
From what you've seen, Tom, there's plenty to work with at Rodney Parade this season. Gone are the days where,
I know it was accidental, that's why I didn't.
although we've got 9 minutes to go, years ago they went out, they got thumped 50 points back in 2008, but there is a steely resolve there, without question.
Yeah, there is, and you know what they do have is a great attitude, and they are committed. Not everything's going off, but you know, you can see the commitment in the way they're running. You can see the commitment in the way they're tackling. They're trying, and you know, you can't fault them for that. They're giving what they can. And just going back to there, you know, it was a good angle there by Ian Jones, and it nearly paid off.
Blue ball.
Now the losing bonus would be the target first of all, if they could get a converted try. And that would be rich rewards going out to Munster.
Definitely. It is a tough business. No matter what team Munster have picked, you know, you're going to Musgrave Park. They absolutely love their rugby out there.
Crouch.
They get on your back straight away.
Bind.
Especially if you're on the wing, you get picked on all the time.
Yes, 9.
Calling me Neil Jenkins, Graham Thomas.
Talay picks up from the base. Richie Rees orchestrating proceedings. Up the middle goes Ian Jones. Good bit of work here by the Dragons forwards. Trying to get over that gain line.
He gets over the gain line, doesn't he, Dixon?
And there is an advantage here. Donsha O'Callaghan there. Well, they weren't 10 metres. Surely there'll be an advantage here.
You're off your feet.
Rees again.
Yeah, just trying to cat clap there, but
didn't go to hand, but he certainly picked up the tempo here, Richie Rees.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Good offload. Unfortunately, just a few inches in front of the player. Rees again. They're knocking on the door here, the Dragons. Rees, good ball options. Ian Jones is one of them. Great offload. And unfortunately, it just goes on, and that's the frustration showed by Dan Evans.
You can see the frustration of Richie Rees as well. Nice little show inside. Ian Jones there offload. He should have caught that.
Just on there.
Sloppy again, wasn't it, really? They're the situations where, you know, you need to regroup, you need to take your time, because you're not going to get anywhere. You pick and go, you shorten up Munster's defensive line.
Because everybody at home is watching that one.
It's not on, you don't give it to the backs. You try and turn the slow ball into the quick ball.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Yes, not.
Well, they'll have to reset here.
It's happy days for Munster, isn't it? You know, winds the clock down.
It was 1 apiece last year. Munster winning this fixture.
Okay.
The Dragons winning the corresponding game at Rodney Parade.
I'm going to come over this side. You have a look at that put in for me.
There's only a point separating the sides before tonight's game.
I'll have a look. No, it's okay. We're not going to discuss anything here. There's nothing to discuss. I'm going to come over and have a look at it
tonight. Well, not too many serious ones, but a few Dragons players have been down.
Mark's back there, just okay. 17.
Just getting a little bit of treatment, catching their breath, and there, Rob Sidoli.
Watch me come half.
He's been a good servant to the Blues, to the Dragons.
His 5th season now at Rodney Parade. He's had an extended run. He moved to Bristol momentarily after a few years with the Blues.
Not stable. Early push raids.
Get back and finish.
Must have been penalised. Chance then for the Dragons into the 22. Richie Rees to Andrew Coombs. He's caught.
Back foot out of there. 16. You're off your feet,
They need to start running onto this ball at pace. There's no point taking it standing still. They're going to get knocked back. There we are, around the corner, straight over the game line.
And he's their target man, Tilley. He's their main carrier. Chance here for the Dragons. Dan Evans, can he go? Great offload. He tried to get the inside ball. Unfortunately, couldn't get his man. But I think it is a Dragons throw here.
Yeah, it was the right idea. Just, I think, you know,
tried to get it back, didn't he, to Putner?
Yeah, they just need to straighten up. They need to keep their hips square a bit. You can see they're all sort of diagonally running the same way, but there's good covering there by Zebo. You know, he wasn't lazy when the ball went past him. He was working hard, but they still got a chance.
Gentlemen, Red,
but this has been the problem. This has been the problem the whole game. You know, winning your own ball, and Sidoli's come on.
It's been their Achilles heel, without question, the line out. And the set piece in general. This time to the front. Secure ball. Now they go on the peel. Could be a chance here. Ian Jones drives on. Right on the Munster try line.
Here we are. That's it. No panic whatsoever. Build.
In go the forwards. They keep it tight. Richie Rees. Now they go out wide. Chance here, and it's gone forward at the moment. Well, it looked as if the try was on the cards.
Yes. First
Ross Wardle was through the hole there. I just want to see what happens.
Oh, chance goes begging. He was right under the sticks. There he is, Ross Wardle.
Did it come off Keith Earls first? I think that's what they're looking at.
Here we are.
No, it didn't.
Well, will they have a better chance than that? Ross Wardle threw them. They worked the opportunity.
When you're running a pop pass there off a 10, you need that in the bread basket. You need it right in your stomach. You know, it's difficult when you're running so fast and you're taking a pass to take it behind you. It's got to be chest, belly area.
Yes,
just behind him.
And the opportunity goes begging then, for now, at least. It's been turned, and the Dragons will get another opportunity. Wasn't wheeled deliberately.
I called use it.
Munster.
The ball was there to be used, he didn't use it.
Well, they're calling for a penalty. They thought it was wheeled deliberately.
It's where the front rows get to.
When do we have to use it? If it stops or if we're...
And I call it.
Munster just giving the Dragons all the opportunities to try and claw back a bonus point loss.
Great opportunity here, and a great position as well.
Well changed your mind, okay?
Options on both sides of the scrum here.
This is where you need like a Shane Williams right behind the scrum. You know, he can go either way, and he's just undefendable in situations like this.
First of all, they need a platform up front.
Yes,
with less than two minutes remaining now.
No.
They've gone to ground. They will reform.
Yeah.
It's certainly been a good last 10 minutes by the Dragons. Okay. You know, they got a bit of confidence up. They got their tails up there.
He's down on his knee, but I expect you to stay square.
The tempo has definitely sped up since Tovey and Richie Rees has come on. They've looked a more organised team.
Let's go, big Jack.
Well, this may well be the Dragons' final opportunity to salvage something from this game. The victory is out of reach, but not so a losing bonus. Again. Untidy, so they'll reset for the third time.
Yeah, Richie Rees there didn't want to put the ball in. He could see there was an issue far side of the scrum. You know, he wants the ball in and out as fast as he can, and in order to do that, you need a solid platform. You need the scrum to be straight.
Final effort then from the Dragons, 8 required.
There's a clean strike by the hooker.
Yes, 9.
Down channel 1, which is the left-hand side. Straight back. And then breaks feet.
Tale, he's done well, the Fijian.
Yeah, great control there.
He was under pressure. The ball is there for Richie Rees. Which way is he going to go? It's out to Sidoli.
Get with him.
Evans ploughs on.
Advantage.
There will be an advantage. The Munster man was on the wrong side. Out it goes. There are men there. Dan Evans caught by Zebo, who made the decision to come in from his wing.
Back here.
Yeah, he did well there, Zebo. Just cut out the attack straight away. But when you're coming in like that, what he did well was you've got to stop the attack straight on. If you don't stop it, there's going to be holes, and that's a risk you take. But
10 seconds remaining. What's the decision? They have to go for it here. Richie Rees to the captain, Andrew Coombs. Are they going to finish it off with the last word? They keep it tight.
No hands, Red.
They need to present the ball back, which they do.
Forwards
out to Danway.
Off your feet,
there's the Munster line in the background. Richie Rees. He's asking for his forwards to come round. Driven on by Owen Evans. It's there again, Rees floats it out, but again the Munster line stands firm.
Yeah, you have to look to your forwards now.
The 80 is up, clock has turned red. This will be the final act. Lewis Evans isolated a bit. Well, he's done ever so well to get that back. Richie Rees on his own, he's caught, now he needs support. Desperate stuff, this by Munster, to keep the Dragons at bay.
No hands, 16.
Munster trying to force a turnover here. Paul O'Connell is in there. Richie Rees, and it's gone forward. And that is that, unfortunately for the Dragons. The final whistle goes, and Munster have done enough to take it here at Musgrave Park. Plenty of endeavour from the Dragons throughout the whole 80 minutes, but it wasn't enough as Munster held firm, and the Dragons leave Ireland empty-handed. Plenty of effort, but the Dragons go down by 23 points to 9. That's it from us. Thanks for joining us on this interactive service, but from Tom and myself, a very good night to you.
Gyfforddus, dylse